morning, boys and girls, and welcome to day 5 of day camp. We're going to open up our treasure chest for our point of the day, but before we do, let's do a recap, see if we can remember every character and point from day 1 up until now. So in day 1, we learned about Pogo, and Pogo taught us, say it with me, that God knows you. You are treasured. On day 2, we met Ruby. And Ruby taught us that God hears you. You are treasured. On day 3, we learned about Wilder. And Wilder reminds us that God comforts you. You are treasured. And yesterday, we learned about Grace. And Grace reminds us that God forgives you. You are treasured. So let's open up our treasure chest here and see what our point is today. God chooses you. You are treasured. So we're going to do our theme song one more time. So we need everybody standing up on their feet and sing this the loudest and do the actions the best that you can. Give it your all. Let's worship together.
Priceless treasure. God knows me, God hears me, God is my comfort. I am His and there's nothing better. Forgiven and chosen forever. I am a treasure. I am a priceless treasure. God knows me, God hears me, God is my comfort. Child of God, I know that I am loved. He hears me when I pray. He always makes a way. I am His and He is mine. I am the prize He came to find. I am a priceless treasure. God knows me, God hears me, God is my comfort. I am His and there's nothing better. Forgiven and chosen forever. I am a treasure. I am a child of God. I know that I am loved. He hears me when I pray. He always makes a way. I am His and He is mine. And I am the prize He came to find. I am a priceless treasure. God knows me, God hears me, God is my comfort. I am His and there's nothing better. Forgiven and chosen forever. I am a treasure. I am a priceless treasure. God knows me, God hears me, God is my comfort. I am His and there's nothing better. Forgiven and chosen forever. I am a treasure.
So today's character that we're learning from is Raymond. And Raymond is right back here next to our bridge over all of this water. And Raymond is actually a caiman, which is the kind of animal that he is. And today he's going to teach us all day long that God chooses us. You are treasured.
Are you ready for the rest of the quest? Welcome back to another day of adventure. Meet Raymond. You probably think you know what animal he is, but everyone gets this wrong. Alligator? Crocodile? Nope. Raymond is a caiman, kin to those bigger guys. You might say he's greater than a gator with crocodile style. Here's a quick family tree. Raymond's family is called crocodilians. In that family, there are alligators, crocodiles, and gharials. Sort of like the way you have aunts, uncles, cousins, second cousins, you get the idea. Of course, there are different kinds of crocodiles, alligators, and gharials. And he's right there, under the alligator branch. Got it? One way to tell them apart is by where they live. Caimans like the warm, tropical water found in rivers or swamps in Central and South America. Raymond prefers his water fresh, but some of his caiman cousins like salt water. Usually, they're pretty quiet. After all, he can't be too noisy or he'd scare away his dinner. But sometimes, Raymond needs to give a shout out to his buddies. Raymond's lungs fill up so much that the water on his back vibrates. We're not saying he's lazy, but he does spend most of his day just basking in the sun. Oh, time for another nap. Out here, there aren't many animals that hunt caimans, so Raymond doesn't even have to keep an eye out to stay safe. Of course, it's always good to keep watch when these guys are sneaking around. Speaking of sneaking, Raymond can be pretty sneaky too. God put Raymond's eyes and nose on the top of his head. That way he can slowly swim through the water and sneak up on a snack. Yum! And when Raymond decides to take a bite, it's a big bite. God gave these reptiles plenty of sharp teeth and some of the strongest jaws on the planet. Grabbing lunch is a snap. Raymond needs all the tricks and help he can get to catch food. On land, his legs are pretty short. Let's just say he won't be winning any prizes for running. But water is another thing. Caimans have such strong tails that they don't even need to use their legs. Nothing like a nice, slow swim. God gave Raymond all kinds of ways to blend in and camouflage, so he stays safe and eats the food he needs to grow. For Raymond the caiman, blending in and going unnoticed is a good thing. But for people, I think it's kind of different. Most of the time, you don't like just blending into the crowd. You like it when people see you and choose you for something. It feels good when someone knows your name and wants you for a friend. Well, I have golden news for you. God chooses you. You're a treasure. In the Bible, God has this message for his family. I have called you by name. You are mine. To God, you don't blend into the crowd. You're special, amazing, unique, awesome. God has important plans just for you. God chooses you. You are treasured.
Hi, Diamond. I was really hoping you would show up. What's up?
I'm heading home today. I just thought I'd stop by and say goodbye.
What? You're leaving already?
Yeah, I didn't find the treasure I was looking for. I think maybe I got some bad information about where the treasure's buried. I'm not sure. But can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why have you been so nice to me? I mean, like when we first met, I was so mean to you, but you were never mean to me. That's not very common with a lot of treasure hunters around here.
We all know that God loves us, and he loves you too. And we want to treat everybody the way that God does. You are priceless to God. You are treasured. God chooses you.
I don't think you have that right. I go look for treasure. I'm not the treasure. Or at least I don't feel like treasure.
We all have days like that, but God loves us on good days and on hard days. He loves us every single day.
You're saying that God chooses me? Like he picked me?
That's right.
Well, that doesn't happen very often either. The whole reason why I became a treasure hunter was because in the 3rd grade, I didn't get picked at recess to play in the soccer team. So then I walked away and I found some change in the grass. And I just knew I had to be a treasure hunter.
You're so valuable to God. He chooses you every single time.
Well, I want to know more. I want to choose God back too.
That's great, and that's the most valuable thing you could ever do. Well, Diamond, today is the last day of day camp, so unfortunately we have to say goodbye. So boys and girls at home, help me out and say goodbye to Diamond. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bye, Diamond!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another exciting game. This is the last one of day camp, which I'm so upset about, but it's a good one, so we're in for a good time ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, the game we are playing is called Save the Stickman. In just a moment, you are going to see a lovely young stickman falling to a pool of vicious stickman eating sharks. We don't want that guy to get eaten, so all you have to do is figure out the message that is being spelled before the stickman is completely drawn. All of the messages that you're about to see have to do with this week's day camp. So if you've been paying attention to the characters, to the messages, to the lessons, then you're going to be right where you need to be to save this stickman's life. Think you can do it? Let's get into it.
He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. It's so amazing to think about God's love. The God of creation is looking out for us. He knows us, He hears us. God is right here with us, and He's wild. God is wild about us. He's wild. God is wild about us. God is great, He is awesome. God is great, He is awesome. He's great, God is wild about us. He is great, He is awesome. He's great, God is wild about He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. It's awesome. He's wild, God is wild He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. It's so amazing to think about God's love. The God of creation is looking out for us. He knows us, He hears
is Esther, who was a Jewish orphan who lived in Persia during the reign of King Xerxes. Esther was adopted by her relative, Mordecai, who worked in the palace of the king. Once, Mordecai had even saved the king's life. Esther became the queen of Persia, but no one knew she was a Jew because Mordecai told her to keep it a secret. This is Haman, who is the second most powerful man in Persia. Haman hated Mordecai because Mordecai wouldn't bow down to him. So Haman convinced King Xerxes to make a decree to kill all Mordecai's people, the Jews. When Mordecai learned about this, he was very upset, as were all the Jews in Persia. When Queen Esther's servants came and told her about how upset Mordecai was, she sent one of her servants, Hatak, to go to Mordecai and find out what was troubling him. So Hatak went out to Mordecai, and Mordecai told him of the plan to kill God's people. Mordecai said that he wanted Esther to go to the king to ask for him to save the Jews. Esther knew that anyone who went to the king without being called could be put to death. But Mordecai reminded Esther that she may have been made queen for such a time as this. So Esther asked for the Jews to pray for her and fast for 3 days. Then Esther put on her royal robes and went before the king. When the king saw Esther, he was happy to see her and asked, "What do you want, Queen Esther? I will give it to you, even if it's half the kingdom." So Esther asked the king if he and Haman would come to a banquet that she had prepared for them, and the king agreed. Esther held a banquet and then asked the king and Haman to come to a second banquet the next night. That night, the king was reminded of how Mordecai had once saved his life. King Xerxes decided that he must honor Mordecai and that Haman would help. Then, at the second banquet, Esther told the king about the plot against her people. The king was angry and asked, "Who would do such a thing?" Esther said it was Haman, and the king ordered Haman to be killed on that very night. But the decree to kill all the Jews was still in place, and the Jews were still in danger. So Mordecai asked the king to issue a new decree so that the Jews could defend themselves. The king did, and the Jews defeated all their enemies. God's people were saved and celebrated their great victory.
Wasn't that such an awesome Bible story? God chose Esther to do a really big job, and she did it. And because she did, all the Jews were saved. See, God chose Esther to do something. And we're learning today that God chooses you. You are treasured. And God has such big and awesome plans for your life, just like he did for Esther's.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't touch that dial. That's right, Drake Sorlake is back with one final amazing invention. Over the course of this week, ladies and gentlemen, I've tried to sell you so many products to help you become an expert adventurer, and today I have one that is absolutely going to change the way you adventure. We've all been out there in the wild wilderness, and sometimes it can get a little smelly, sometimes it can get a little stinky, sometimes it can get a little rainy, if you understand what I'm saying. That's right, in the rainforest, it's always wet, and there are birds, monkeys, so many things above you that can send things down that would land on your head that you don't want. So, what most people need is an umbrella. That's right, this is an amazing product, but wait, there's more. This is not an ordinary umbrella. We all know that God sometimes catches a cold, and when God gets sick, he sneezes. He goes, achoo! You don't want to get God's boogers on top of your head, do you? This is an amazing device because it will absolutely guarantee that no sneeze or snot from heaven is going to come down and hit you on top of your head. That's right, when God achoo's on you, you have nothing to worry about because you have this amazing revolutionary Drake Sorlake umbrella. This is for the low, low price of $199.95, and it could be yours if you...
Hi.
Hi.
I was just listening to what you were selling. This is probably, I'm not trying to make you cry, but this is your worst one yet.
What? Pastor Jenna, this is an amazing product. You come stand underneath it, and you've got nothing to worry about.
but what does this have to do about, we're learning about God chooses us.
That's right, God choose, and then you get lands on you, so you don't want that to happen. So
Oh
you get the
my
umbrella.
goodness.
God choose, and then you don't want that to happen.
No, we're not talking about a sneeze. We're talking about God choosing us, like picking us.
God like picking our noses?
No, God knowing us and picking us.
Oh, like choose,
Yes, not.
not a choose.
Yeah, so this is crazy.
But this could still be a good umbrella in the rainforest.
Sure. Anyway, enough about that. We're going to go right into Kid Vid Cinema and learn about a kid properly explain what it means to be chosen by God.
Hi, I'm Genevieve and I'm 11 years old. I live with my mom, my dad, my sister, and my cousin in Orange County, California.
Genevieve likes spending time with her family. She likes to play with her sister. Her family watches movies together, swims, and goes on walks. Genevieve also does ballet. But what she really loves is swimming. Genevieve and her sister started swimming lessons when she was around 8 years old. One day, her instructors chose her to be part of a swimming club where she would race other swimmers. At first, Genevieve didn't feel very strong about her swimming. But one day, something amazing happened.
I remember one time that I was doing swimming. It was a normal practice, and at this time, I was probably one of the slowest people in my group. And then I was just swimming, and then all of a sudden, I felt this holy power that I could go faster, and I passed every single person in my lane, and I ended up being the fastest person from that day on.
Being chosen means Genevieve is part of a team. That team is a lot like a family. The coaches wanted Genevieve to be part of their team because they knew she could do great things. Being chosen for the swim team means Genevieve must train hard. She practices 5 days a week for 2.5 hours each day. Genevieve relies on her coaches and trainers to help her become a better, faster swimmer. She also relies on God too.
I normally rely on God to help me with my races. Like, I normally get kind of scared before a race, so I ask Him to help me become kind of more confident with myself, and that He will love me no matter what I get.
Genevieve hopes to be able to go to the Olympics and win a gold medal in swimming. She'll have to work hard every day for many more years to be chosen for that team. Genevieve knows that she's already been chosen as part of God's family, and she didn't have to work for that at all. God chose her just because He loves her. Did you know that you've been chosen to be part of God's family too? In the Bible, the book of Isaiah says, "I have called you by name. You are mine." That's right. God chooses you and He called you His very own. You don't have to work or earn God's love. He picks you as His friend just because. God made you for a purpose. You can ask God to show you what He has chosen you to do. God will help you do amazing things. God chooses you. You are treasured.
Well, boys and girls, sadly, day camp has come to a close. But before we go, let's take a quick reminder of all the awesome things that we did this week. We met Diamond Digging Stone, which was so cool. We met Drake Shorelake and all of his crazy inventions that he had. We learned 5 Bible points and 5 different characters, 5 different Bible stories. You guys did treasure training us. You came to the church twice in person, which was so awesome. I hope you guys had the best week at day camp this week. So before we go, I have to announce the points. I bet you're so excited to know if your team came in first place. So we're gonna put the points on the screen in just a second, but first, let's do a drum roll. So help me out, give me a drum roll. The winning team is, let's put those on the screen. Congratulations, Orange Team. You guys did such an awesome job all week long, so congratulations. So before we finally close, we're gonna sing one more song together. So everybody up on their feet and give it your best. See you guys later.
Sing wherever I go. All my